The shimmering chandeliers of the grand ballroom cast a dazzling, almost blinding light across the polished marble floors, reflecting off the expensive silks and tailored suits of the city's elite. Amidst this glittering tableau, Alex felt like a ghost, present but unseen. Alex, a dedicated but often overlooked employee at a prestigious tech company, possessed a quiet ambition that burned brighter than any crystal fixture. Years of innovative ideas, meticulously crafted and passionately presented, had been met with polite nods and swift dismissals by colleagues who preferred the security of the status quo. Even Alex's own family, with their endless stream of unsolicited advice and thinly veiled critiques, seemed intent on keeping Alex firmly in their shadow, mocking every small triumph and amplifying every setback. Yet Alex persevered, driven by an unwavering desire to prove their worth not just to the corporate titans, but to themselves and, ultimately, to secure a better future for their loved ones, despite their constant undermining. The annual company gala, an exclusive event whispered about in hushed tones, was the pinnacle of career advancement, a place where fortunes were made and futures forged. When the elegant, embossed invitation landed on Alex's desk, a wave of disbelief washed over them, quickly followed by a surge of exhilarating excitement. This was it. This was the chance. But the elation was short-lived. Sharing the news with their parents and siblings was met with a chorus of skepticism and derision. "You, at that gala?" scoffed a sibling, a dismissive laugh echoing through the family dinner. "Don't embarrass us, Alex," their mother had warned, her tone laden with a familiar condescension. The family's history of undermining Alex's achievements was a painful, persistent melody, a soundtrack to every aspiration. Now, standing on the periphery of the opulent ballroom, Alex felt the familiar sting of being an outsider. The air hummed with hushed conversations and the clinking of champagne flutes, a symphony of success that Alex felt entirely out of tune with. A fleeting glance caught the eye of Mark, a senior colleague who had once publicly ridiculed one of Alex's most promising proposals. Mark offered a sneering smile that sent a chill down Alex's spine. Attempting to network, Alex navigated through the throngs, offering tentative smiles and introductions, only to be met with subtle snubs and dismissive glances, each one a tiny cut to their already fragile confidence. Then, the world seemed to tilt. A stern-faced security guard, his frame imposing, approached Alex directly. "Excuse me, Sir Ma'am," he began, his voice low but carrying an undeniable authority. "There seems to have been a misunderstanding. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave the premises." The words hung in the air, cold and sharp, lacerating Alex's composure. Whispers erupted around them, guests turning their heads, eyes filled with curiosity and, in some cases, thinly veiled amusement. Mark's smirk widened, a silent victory dance playing out on his face. The humiliation was absolute, a crushing weight that stole Alex's breath. As Alex was led towards the exit, a glance across the room revealed a sight that twisted the knife deeper. Alex's own family members, present as plus ones to other guests, witnessing the entire scene. Their faces, contorted with contempt, were punctuated by a shared, derisive laugh. Just as the security guard was about to usher Alex through the grand doors, a commanding voice cut through the murmurs. "What in the blazes is going on here?" The CEO, a formidable and respected figure known for their razor-sharp intellect, materialized from the crowd. Their gaze, sharp and penetrating, landed on Alex, a flicker of concern or perhaps even recognition in their eyes. The CEO then turned to the flustered security guard, demanding an explanation with an icy intensity. The guard stammered, attempting to justify his actions. The CEO listened for a moment, then looked back at Alex, a single, unexpected phrase escaping their lips. "What are you doing out here?" Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The CEO's voice, though calm, resonated with an undeniable authority that instantly quelled the buzzing whispers of the gala guests. A hush descended upon the ballroom, every eye now fixed on the unfolding drama. Mark, who moments ago had reveled in Alex's public downfall, now stood frozen, his triumphant smirk replaced by a look of utter bewilderment. Alex's family, their derisive laughter still echoing faintly in Alex's ears, seemed to shrink, their expression shifting from contempt to dawning horror as the CEO's gaze swept over them. "This individual," the CEO declared, gesturing towards Alex with a hand that commanded respect, "is not to be removed. On the contrary, they were specifically requested to attend this evening, not merely as a guest, but for a private, urgent meeting." The security guard, now pale and visibly shaken, stumbled over apologies, attempting to explain his misunderstanding as a directive from a mid-level manager. The CEO, however, cut him short with a dismissive wave, then turned back to Alex, a genuine apology in their eyes. "My sincerest apologies, Alex. This was an egregious error, and it will be addressed." Alex, still reeling from the whiplash of emotions, found themselves being led away, not out the grand doors, but through a discreet side entrance into a secluded, elegantly appointed room. The stark contrast between the public humiliation and this sudden private sanctuary was disorienting. The CEO closed the door, the muffled sounds of the gala fading into the background, and motioned for Alex to sit. "What you just experienced," the CEO began, their voice low and serious, "was no mere misunderstanding. It was a deliberate act of sabotage orchestrated by someone within this company who fears your potential." A chill ran down Alex's spine. The CEO then leaned forward, their expression earnest. "For months, I have been reviewing various innovative project proposals in secret, seeking a solution to a looming crisis that threatens the very foundation of this company. Your project, Alex, stood out. Its ingenuity, its foresight, its sheer brilliance. It's exactly what we need." The words were a balm to Alex's scarred confidence, a validation that had been denied for so long. The CEO went on to detail a complex, multifaceted company crisis, one that Alex's seemingly niche project was perfectly positioned to solve. It was a pivotal role, a chance to not just contribute, but to lead. Alex, though still processing the whirlwind of events, felt a surge of mixed emotions, profound validation, a simmering anger at those who had so readily dismissed and humiliated them, and a renewed, fierce sense of purpose. The CEO, with an almost uncanny perception, seemed to sense Alex's internal struggle. "I know your ideas have often been overlooked, Alex. I know you've faced undue skepticism, but those days are over. This is your opportunity, not just for success, but for vindication. For every snide remark, every dismissive glance, every shared laugh at your expense." Without a moment's hesitation, Alex accepted the offer. The pressure would be immense, the stakes higher than ever before, but the prospect of proving them all wrong, of seeing their vision come to fruition was intoxicating. The following days blurred into a focused whirlwind of activity. Late nights at the office became the norm, fueled by determination and a burning desire to succeed. Alex delved into the project with an intensity rarely seen. Each line of code, each strategic decision, a silent testament to their unwavering resolve. Initial progress was swift, promising, a beacon of hope in the wake of the gala's darkness. One evening, while cross-referencing old project files, Alex stumbled upon an encrypted message embedded deep within a discarded server log. It was a series of coded communications, dated weeks before the gala. The sender was anonymous, but the recipient's IP address traced back to a familiar network within the company. A cold certainty settled in Alex's gut. The message discussed neutralizing a problematic innovator and ensuring their absence from key events. Then, a few days later, a seemingly innocuous interaction in the break room sealed the deal. Alex overheard Mark speaking in hushed tones to a junior colleague, subtly boasting about how he had handled a certain pest at the gala, ensuring they wouldn't darken the doors of any important company functions again. The pieces clicked into place with chilling clarity. The sabotage was real, and Mark was undeniably at its rotten core. Alex's project, once a whisper of an idea, surged into undeniable reality. It was a resounding success, not just meeting the company's urgent needs but exceeding every expectation. The innovative solution Alex had meticulously crafted stabilized the volatile market situation, averted financial disaster, and even opened new avenues for growth. Within weeks, Alex became the reluctant hero, the quiet innovator whose brilliance had saved the day. Colleagues, once dismissive, now sought Alex's counsel, their eyes reflecting genuine admiration and respect. The hushed conversations in the hallways revolved around Alex's foresight, Alex's genius, a stark contrast to the snickers and gossip that had once followed them. Alex for the first time felt truly seen, truly valued, the weight of years of underestimation slowly lifting. The time for quiet vindication was over. Alex orchestrated a direct confrontation with Mark, choosing the weekly executive meeting, a setting where Mark typically held court, as the stage. The atmosphere in the boardroom was tense, the air thick with unspoken rivalries. As Mark began his usual self-congratulatory monologue, Alex calmly interrupted, a confident glint in their eyes. "Mark," Alex began, their voice steady, "I believe there's a matter we need to discuss regarding the gala incident and your subsequent attempts to undermine my project." Mark's face paled, a flicker of panic in his usually arrogant gaze. He stammered, attempting to deflect, to dismiss Alex's words as baseless accusations. But Alex was prepared. With a few clicks, Alex projected the irrefutable evidence onto the large screen. The encrypted messages, the server logs, the detailed timeline of Mark's manipulative actions, all meticulously compiled. The room fell silent, the collective gasp of the executives echoing the gravity of the revelation. Mark's desperate attempts to deny, to lie, crumbled under the weight of the undeniable truth. His career, built on a foundation of deceit and self-promotion, lay shattered before him. News of Alex's triumph and Mark's spectacular downfall spread like wildfire, reaching Alex's family with astonishing speed. Suddenly the phone call started, the text messages pouring in. "We always knew you had it in you, dear. So proud of our brilliant Alex. We always believed in you." Their voices, once laced with ridicule, now dripped with an artificial sweetness. an almost desperate attempt to re-enter Alex's orbit. Alex listened politely, a faint, knowing smile playing on their lips. When they finally met, Alex calmly but firmly addressed their past betrayal, the countless instances of doubt and derision. "I appreciate your words," Alex stated, their gaze unwavering. "But my success is a result of my own hard work, not your belief. I forgive you, but I will not forget the lessons learned." The boundaries were drawn, clear and unyielding. Alex had chosen independence, self-worth, and a future unburdened by their past negativity. The CEO, true to their word, publicly acknowledged Alex's extraordinary contribution during the annual shareholder meeting, promoting them to a high-level executive position. Alex stood on the stage, the applause a thunderous affirmation of their journey. No longer an overlooked employee, Alex was now a respected leader, their innovative spirit shaping the company's future. Months later, at another company gala, Alex stood amidst the glittering crowd, a confident and respected figure. The whispers were now of admiration, the glances of respect. Alex observed the vibrant scene, a quiet triumph swelling within their chest. For a moment they slipped away, finding a secluded balcony overlooking the city lights. Reaching into their pocket, Alex pulled out a small framed photo, a faded image of their family from years ago, before the bitterness, before the doubt. Alex gazed at it for a long moment, then looked out at the sprawling metropolis, the symbol of the successful life they had meticulously built. A faint, knowing smile touched their lips, a testament to the quiet strength that had carried them through. The path had been arduous, marked by humiliation and betrayal, but Alex had emerged not just victorious, but truly, undeniably free.